on this week's episode of Live Large.
All right, we're going to talk about how to develop one of the most powerful looking body parts, and that's traps.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to believe that you gain 41 pounds of muscle in 6 months?
A strategy that I call the morning ritual.
Today is my wife's birthday. Do a little parasailing, something new neither of us have done.
All right, we're going to talk about how to develop one of the most powerful looking body parts, and that's traps. It's a muscle group that helps give that upper clavicular area that diamond look and helps really cap off a nice set of wide delts. So something I like doing when I'm doing my traps is I like using plates. And when I do the plates, I don't just shrug, I like to bend my elbows. By bringing my elbows up, I get my mid traps as well. And I can create more tension on my upper traps because my biceps are allowing me to maintain a peak contraction. You can also do quite a few reps with this. Sometimes when you kind of shrug a bit, you can get them even higher. So again, there's nothing wrong with bending your elbows if you're doing it intentionally. When I start to fatigue, I like to bring them in closer and continue. You got to get that 1 second pause at the top. If you're not getting that 1 second pause on your traps at the top, you're missing out on the biggest benefit of the exercise.
Welcome to Ask Vince.
Today I'm going to ask Vince, why do you think it's so hard for people to believe that you gain 41 pounds of muscle in 6 months? Especially on the internet, we get a lot of these questions. Going from skinny Vince,
Skinny Vinny.
to never seen before picture of Vince's transformation. 6 months later.
Yeah. The internet, how far we haven't come. I think the first thing is to grasp is the backdrop to my entire transformation and the context of it. You have to understand that I was a runner for 10 years prior to getting into the gym. So I had zero exposure to weight training. So my body was primed for a lot of muscle growth, and all the stimulus on my muscles was completely brand new. So I obviously had a strong response to it. Also, my nutrition sucked. When I was a runner, I mean, my nutrition consisted of bagels, cereal, and lots of Kraft dinner. So I had never been exposed to protein and eating quality fats and a regular meal cadence. So those things combined, I think, had a big impact. Also, I didn't know what was possible coming into the gym, and I think that was my biggest advantage. I didn't know that you could, I didn't know what was realistic or what was possible, and I was kind of naive about my entire transformation. It's funny because 6 months later, after I gained 41 pounds, I started getting criticism from people, and I was like, why, is that good what I achieved? And I'm not saying this to rub it in, I really didn't know. And just like a lot of big business icons, like a guy like Mark Zuckerberg, he had no idea how big Facebook could be, and that now there's like 500 million people on it every day. Steve Jobs, the creator of Apple, I mean, revolutionized the computer industry. He had zero idea of what he was creating. And I think one of the beliefs that I have is that everything popular is often wrong. And sailing around the world, going to the moon, the 4-minute mile, those are all things that were once considered impossible. And the way you overcome a limiting belief like that is to find people in the real world who have disproved it. So if you're having a hard time wrapping your mind around gains that I've achieved, then start finding people in the real world who've already achieved those gains. And you're gonna have to wrestle with the idea of, if they did it, maybe it is possible. And I'm sure it is, because I know a lot of people, including myself, have already got similar or better results than me.
That's right, even using your stuff. Thanks, Vince.
No problem.
Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I want to share a strategy that I call the morning ritual. And it's something I've used to help go from 210 to 227. And it's designed to help improve digestion, improve absorption, and it also helps combat the acidity in your body. Now, this is something I do within 5 minutes of waking up every single morning. It's that critical. Anybody can do this as well.
The first thing to understand about digestion and absorption is that your cells don't experience the same thing that your mouth experiences. Just because you put food in your mouth doesn't mean it actually passes through your digestive tract, that it gets into your stomach, that it gets into your bloodstream, and that it ultimately gets where we want it, to your muscle cells. So we have to look at foods that help promote that. And the number one thing that does that is fiber. The analogy I can give you guys is, this isn't totally accurate, but if you look at a long tube, a lot of guys, bodybuilders, don't have problems getting food into the tube, but they have problems getting food out of the tube. So we want an equal flow of food going in and going out at the same rate. Now, as you can imagine, if you're not excreting your food, you're going to create a backup. And that's going to prevent digestion and absorption, and that means you're not going to get the food actually into your muscle cells. So one strategy I use every morning upon waking up is I do a juice drink. I call it the morning ritual. And as you can see, I pick an assortment of vegetables. It really doesn't matter which ones you use. I've got some celery, beets, asparagus, peppers, carrots, and spinach here. Things that help prevent water retention. They're high in vitamins, minerals, fiber, iron, loads of mega minerals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in my juicer. This here, by the way, is the Mercedes-Benz of juicers. This thing's like 2 horsepower. It's a Vitamix, and if you can invest in one, go for it. The nice thing about this is that we're not going to lose any of the nutrient value. Everything stays inside. We're going to blend it all and drink it. Now, there's another really important purpose to all of this that I haven't mentioned, and that is neutralizing the acidity in your body. What a lot of people don't know is that you are what you eat. And if you're eating a lot of protein and carbohydrates, which are going to help promote muscle growth and are good, you're going to create a lot of acidity in your body. And as you know, that can lead to cancers, diseases. It can help, it can lead to leaching minerals out of your body. And it can also result in ruining your physique and muscle loss. So we don't want that. So our easy solution is to bring in the silent heroes, which I like to call vegetables. And that's going to help neutralize the acidity because these are base foods, and base foods help prevent, they help maintain that acid-base balance in our body. Our body's always in a state of flux. So those are the 2 main purposes that will serve. Now let's get to it. I'll show you what I do. It's really quite simple. Again, it literally takes minutes. I get a bit of water to start off with. That's my base. And again, don't worry about the vegetables you use. One cool thing about juicing too is that you never waste your vegetables anymore. Now I do this every day. I always have fresh vegetables in store, but you know, some people, they might just at the end of the week start noticing, hey, shoot, I've got a bag of celery that's about to go bad and a bag of carrots that are almost expired. I better blend that up so I don't waste it. So that's a nice thing about juicing too. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn this on and watch what happens. Oops. Let's get that on there. Now, most juicers don't have the power to do that, but if you can get a Vitamix, again, it's not the cheapest thing on the market. It is probably one of the best investments you can make, and it'll give you no reason not to get your 6 to 15 servings of vegetables in you a day. As you can see, I got 6 servings of vegetables right there, and I am going to pour that. Now again, you can dilute it to your liking. You can add some ice cubes if you want. You can even add some stevia to it. But to be honest, as you saw, that was straight vegetables with water, nothing else. This is what I drink 5 minutes within waking up every single morning. Sometimes it's like you're on Fear Factor. You never know what you're gonna mix up. But for the most part, it's actually always quite surprisingly good. So that's it. That's the strategy. Now what I do is I alkalize my body. That takes about 5 to 20 minutes. And after I drink this, I'll start preparing my breakfast. So I'm going to have my first meal of the day within about 20 minutes of having this. And that is my morning ritual.
Hey, what's up guys? Living large today in Key West. Today is my wife's birthday. Happy birthday. She looks like she's 22, but we can't tell you how old she really is. So today we're living large by spoiling her. And we're starting the day off with a nice Facebook shout out and saying how wonderful, how amazing she is and how she rocks my world. And I don't care if people think I'm bragging. If I don't brag about my wife, who else is going to, right? So we're gonna jump on the jet skis pretty soon. We're going to do a little parasailing, something new neither of us have done. And then I got a little sunset tour planned for us on a private boat. We're gonna do some wine tasting and sample some fruit platters, cracker platters. It's gonna be a beautiful day, and then we're gonna end up in a nice restaurant. So that's what it means to live large on your wife's birthday. If you got a girlfriend, spoil her, brother. Don't hold back. Give her everything, man, especially if she deserves it, then don't do it 90%, do it 100%. So that's what it means to live large on your wife's birthday. I'm looking forward to it, and we'll see you next time.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, man.
Good times. We like that. We're liking that. Living large.
On next week's episode of Live Large.
All right, guys, I want to teach you a really basic way to warm up your legs.
So Vince, you have inspired me to get into the fitness industry. Where should I get started?
Let's take a look at the top 20 foods that not only you should eat occasionally, but that you should be relying on a regular basis.
Hey, what's up guys? I want to quickly introduce you to my friends. You're going to ask me a couple questions on what it means to live large.